Master of Solaris, the one who can wield thousands of weapons, the eighth apostle, Gangling Lotus. Solaris is a blue planet with nothing but wind, rain, and water on its surface. Most organisms of this planet are oceanic creatures that live underwater, and one of the more common of such organisms are the tentacles. Tentacles are asexual octopus-like animals that reproduce via parasitic behavior, laying their offspring in suitable hosts. Perhaps not intelligent, but they are still shrewd creatures. If the host is not fit for reproduction, they can instead take over their body and control them. Lotus was the most powerful tentacle and also the most powerful creature from Solaris. Greater than massive sailing ships and possessing countless limbs, he could confront multiple enemies or dominate a single opponent in combat with ease. But these limbs were neither his greatest weapon nor the reason why he's called the one who can wield thousands of weapons. The most powerful weapon in his arsenal was his psychic domination. Those who are unable to resist are turned into mindless slaves, following his will like puppets. Even if it is resisted, it still acts as a powerful psychic attack accompanied by phantasms and delusions. While he was still on Solaris, most creatures of the entire planet were affected by his mind control, and only after he moved to Pandemonium was its natural habitat restored. Once he was on Pandemonium, Lotus dominated whatever bodies of water that remained on it and spent most of his days in calm or hibernation. However, he was the second apostle to be the victim of the metastasis, and he was sent to Behemoth, a giant flying whale of Arad. Realizing the lack of water, he tried to escape, but found himself trapped in a shrine of the GBL order. As a literal fish out of water, he rapidly grew weaker. And even if he broke out, the Behemoth was a flying beast. There was no water to be found. He attempted to control the Behemoth to bring himself to the ocean above Arad, but it was no easy feat controlling such an enormous beast at his weakened state. During his attempts to dominate the beast, other denizens on Behemoth were affected as well, such as the members of the GBL order. It was then that Ophelia Bagrans, the only survivor of the order, descended to Arad to call for help. She returned with the adventurers, along with the forces of the Balmire Principality and Dallos Empire. Lotus put up a desperate fight. He unleashed his tentacle minions along with the victims of his mind control to match the numbers, and attempted his own psychic attacks on more prominent figures. Even Aganzo, one of the 4 Blade Masters and the most capable warriors of the continent, could not resist it. The adventurers also fell victim, killing the low-ranking knight Lenny before coming to their senses. And even as all this was happening, he was still trying to take hold of Behemoth. If he could even touch the water, it was all over for them. But his strength was not infinite, and eventually he became so weak that he couldn't even employ his psychic powers properly. Yet even in this state he resisted, injuring more capable warriors such as Robato and Hearts. But he could not survive the following assault by the adventurers Aganzo and Vaughn. As he perished under the ruins of the shrine he was trapped in, he cursed their ignorance to the doomed future ahead of them. Lotus was our first introduction to the apostles in the story of DFO. He was, in a way, sacrificed so that the adventurers, and by extension the players, could experience how powerful the apostles are. While he was defeated in a quite anticlimactic way, it was repeatedly reminded throughout the chapter that he was horribly weakened, and should he succeed in reaching water and recovering even a fraction of his power, they would stand no chance. Considering he used to control almost an entire planet by himself, it is not wrong to think that Arad would have been doomed if he did succeed. Despite the fact that he was perhaps the most penalized amongst the apostles that the adventurers faced, he forced a great challenge onto them, even traumatizing them by making them kill one of their friends. While the adventurers grew from this experience, it also showed them the gap that existed between the adventurers and the apostles. Indeed, it would be a long time before the adventurers managed to slay an apostle on their own.